As of November 2022, the 13th Doctor's era concluded in the previous month. The 13th Doctor's era covered 31 episodes. The 13th Doctor's era covered 31. The 13th Doctor's era covered 31 episodes over 24 serials. The other way around. The thing is, Part 1 covers Series 11 and Resolution. Back off. And Resolution. Plus a despair about the Timeless Child arc. Not like not like YouTube has any. And then the final video was a bonus video. And then part 6 was a bonus video about... Oh no, this is part 6, not part 7. Part 4. And this is not part 6. And Tom, the 60s are very, the 60s I struggle to defer. As for later years, apart from seasons, where not just because of those the 5th and final episodes, and the special, or people who got into the 13th Doctor as either their first or as the one that got them into the show. I'm someone who managed to succeed in watching every single classic series story in time for series, and in the case of the animations that came after 2018, I saw those as well. It felt slightly different in some cases, to the point of dullness on some occasions. In some places. The thing that made Series 12 better to 11 at the time, which is not the case, but not as good in the case of some of them, not so much. Except it's not. There was a couple of some interest, but I think those ones are definitely more focused on. But I think those ones are more akin to Key to Time, rather than how. But I think those are more akin to Key to Time rather than Trial of a Time Lord, like Children of Earth and Flux are. Doctor Who Redacted similarly feels something more akin to Miracle Day and the Key to Time saga than to, say, Trial of a Time Lord, which is what Children of Earth and Flux feel a lot more like. We've also got the and however, one problem with another some kablam, despite the political messaging. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. I should also throw in Spyfall Part 1. I suppose Fugitive of the Jadoon before the reveal. Fugitive. But we've also got a couple of the Series 12 Ascension of the Cybermen could have been okay if it tied in more with what happened in the next episode, and they lost. Hang on, Mum's here. Once Upon a Time, I did like Once Upon a Time, but I do feel I did mention Once Upon a Time or The Vanquishers because I did enjoy those. I think they're good, but well, okay, Vanquishers good, but with I think they're good, but with problems, and yeah. Also, Twice Upon a Time. Oh, and if we include Twice Upon a Time, yeah. So mix. Apart from maybe Legend, outside the Yasmin stuff. Speaking of Yasmin Khan. Doc Phasmin, the main incumbent the main or Stephen in the first, at least for season 3, or at least the most notable post Ian Barbara Susan. Sorry, Vicky Stans. Or Jo for the third Doctor, Sarah Jane, would be more associated with the fourth. With 4, it's a bit more difficult to say who his definitive companion was because there was so much with Sarah Jane, Leela, and Romana, mainly the second. I'm going to say K9. I'm going to say K9 is his most definitive companion. 5, it was Tegan, and then from there onwards, we mostly stick to 1 or 2 companion group in the TARDIS for the most part, apart from when River Song teamed up with her parents and husband. So even if she met, even like Jamie, for example, she started, or Tegan. In moments, and we saw them once more in Spyfall. But there really isn't much for Yaz's family. That's the only outside of those episode. Fuck off. And we get to explore some of her character. Apart from the fact that that's mostly for series. Bradley Walsh kept in, and series 12. But Eva didn't have enough. But Eva had, and Yaz, like I mentioned, didn't really get any backstory about her until and Yaz, as I mentioned, didn't get much characterization until around Nikola Tesla, and then maybe Orphan 55. Dan, on the other hand, was okay. The next comedian, and in the case, and this goes twice for Graham and Dan, played by, but the character himself is just so, but the characters are so lovable and so wonderful in their. If maybe Series 13 had been the whole, but as we saw right now, it was still pretty. And John Barrowman did a pretty good job when Ace and Tegan, on the other hand, were also redacted. Also handled her pretty well. And yeah, that's pretty much. Apart from the fine, I'm not going to count. I won't get. God, how great would it have been if 6 had done so? Gosh, wouldn't it have been brilliant if the 6th Doctor had gotten what? It's both a multi-Doctor story and yet also not really at the same time. As for the villains, Series 11 had a bit of a few of a. As for the villains, Series 11s weren't that great because it was, whilst having a great creepy voice by Future, no, the arachnids were basically giants, but the arachnids were basically like the maggots from the planet of, sorry, not planet, not just the no, and the I thought that's what should is Jack the pit. And finally we have the weep. Finally we have whose designs look very much like how they did, whose head design, and really bad. It's not a very bad, and it's a pretty bad story. But new villains are overall this. So the overall feel of the, maybe they would have popped in, and that's probably why Series 11 got as many high views as it did. Yeah, because they didn't do anything with that arc until end of Series 12, maybe a bit of Series, but they didn't really do much. They didn't really do anything much. Oh fuck. But yeah, that was good. So that's it. Sorry about that. Series. Anyway, that's it from my conclusions, and that's it from my 13th Doctor Reflections. Thank you so much for watching these videos. They were incredibly difficult to make on a personal level, not because I'm just talking. Anyway, thank you for watching these videos, and if you have, then please do stay tuned for my review of the 2022 New Year's fuck off, and all Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne bonus content YouTube channel.